Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will now call the special session of the Dawkins County Commission to order at 6:01. Let me make sure I got my phone turned down. Okay, we have the public sign-in sheets here, but what we will do, this meeting is relative to the contribution or the contribution requests that we have received, and tonight we will be considering those and making a decision. In all probability, the bulk of them won't be distributed until about September, sometime around September, but we will approve the amounts this evening, and it's to come out of the 2017-2018 budget. Now, before we start, I want to say that every year we have, when we handed out the donations, we said our budget has increased, so we're sharing the wealth. And if it ever came to the time when our budget didn't increase, that you would have to share the pain also, I guess you could say. It's not as bad as it is in a lot of other counties, but our budget was less this year, maybe less next year. But what I really want to discuss is, as a county commission, we've probably been a little lax in the past, and we've accepted the requests and made the donation grants, and then we assumed. Now you can fill in the blanks there. What we're finding is that we need more verification. And so, consequently, if you're an organization that has an audited financial statement, you can basically ignore what I'm about to say, because your organization has been audited, and we're assuming when you send in your financial statements, they're not going to have a whole bunch of findings of problems. What we are, and we also recognize that it's not every organization is of a size that you can, number one, that you can afford an audit, or number two, you can afford an accountant or bookkeeper, and so you have to rely on people who are willing to do that. What we are looking for in those cases is verification that the money was spent as we had been, as the request was made of us. And that can be a variety of ways. If you have questions, I'm sure that our administrative assistant, Randy Britton, who used to be a state auditor with the state auditor's office, can give you guidance on what you need to provide to us to verify. Now, probably what's going to happen is we're going to make our donation request decisions tonight, and in some cases, we're going to ask for more information before the dollars are distributed. And if we don't receive that information, then we're not going to distribute the dollars until the information is provided. Now, that may sound kind of harsh to some people, but when you are elected a county commissioner, the first thing you go to primarily is called basic training. And I'm looking at Sean and Ronnie. You both know that what they tell you and what you find out as a county commissioner is you have a lot of responsibilities, but there's only one thing that we control technically in this courthouse, and that's the budget. And now we also know that if you want to get someone's attention, you don't say, hey you, I want to talk to you. You say, here's the check, you're going to come and talk to me, or. So that's where we're at. And we would rather not have to do that, but in certain cases we will. Now, with that being said, you all are more than willing to stay here the entire time, or once you've made your pitch, you're more than welcome to, because I know it could be a long evening. Now, what I have done is alphabetized the organizations, if I can get my, and the first one is the Bi-County Nutrition. So if you would like to make your presentation.
Hello, gentlemen. I'm here to represent Bi-County Nutrition. I think we've sent you gentlemen forms about what it costs to feed the under 60 and the over 60. We've always appreciated your generosity. And it's going up every year, it seems like, gentlemen, because the cost of food, all right, services, everything else. So ours is similar to last year's. You've got a read out there. I'm going to go through all because you already have. So you know what we're asking for. And it really comes down to the issues that if we can't get your help, then we have to diminish our help to your residents. And it seems like every year, not only this one, because we also serve Harrison County, we're getting more and more under 60. Why, I don't know. But it seems like both counties are increasing the under 60. Because I went on this board, I think it's 7 years now I've been on their board. I've seen it go from, I think, $5,000, excuse me, gentlemen, up to $20,000. That's what we're asking now. There's a sum in there of $15,008 something for the under 60, and also the ones that eat at the senior center. But most of it's for the under 60. So we need this to keep the program going because of our increased cost. And I'm there, we have people in Harrison County. If I'm there where we feed there at Number Fort, if one of these people here would actually walk up by, you're standing outside, you can smell the food. To me, I don't care if you were 12 years old, I would say come on in and eat with us because we don't charge, we ask for contributions, all right? And contributions are way down. Hardly anybody's giving us anything. But we're not allowed to ask for it. We're not like the senior center where you have to charge for a meal. Ours is definitely through the Old Americans Act, so we have to do it this way. So we depend on you folks, just like the Harrison County Commission, to help us out with this. So you've got it, and it's a breakdown of, you can actually break it down, gentlemen. And if you need anything else on that, please contact us because we have financial people that can tell you where the breakdown is. But what I want to say in earnest is, if we could have the $20,000 again, we'd appreciate it. If we don't, whatever you can give us, we'll be happy with it, trust me. It means a lot because you're giving it to us. And we want to help your folks. That's all I have to say. Any questions, John?
How many meals in a day? One meal a day to them, or 2 meals a day?
Just 1 meal a day, 5 days a week. We even have a program, it's called Blizzard Boxes. We purchase that, it costs around $15,000 to $20,000 every year we buy them. There's 7 dry meals in these boxes, all right? When we think when winter comes, we think it might be inclement weather and we can't get there. So it might be a snowstorm tonight, you can't deliver tomorrow. Certain time of the year, we send that box to everybody. It's delivered to the home bound, okay? So that gives them 7 meals that they can eat. Now, if they eat them right in the road, I can't help that, but we give it to them. And this past year, we also turned around and bought a 5-meal one again. We went to the Harrison County Commission on this. They gave us an extra, I think it was $15,000 to buy more. We also gave those out to the residents. So we try everything we can to make sure people eat. I mean, that's just hard. And I love it. I'm retired. But I love getting out there and helping with them. I even go help deliver. But it's a great cause. My mother was in it for a long time, and then I finally got involved. But that's where we're at with that. So, any other questions?
No, I don't believe he said you have here the 60 clients in Doddridge County.
And like I said, it increases. I don't know why the under 60, I don't know why it's doing that here in the last several years. There's been an influx of under 60. So I don't know the answer. So we try to feed them all, if we can.
Okay. No, we will go ahead and consider. Do we have any?
I'll make a motion for 20,000.
Okay. We will have to confirm this probably at the county commission meeting, but we can go ahead and I think that's what we do, isn't it?
Normally you say that you want to go ahead and agree that this is what you're gonna
Yeah.
fund, and then
Yeah.
next county.
Sure, anything like I said, financially, as long as anything you know. And we did kind of a breakdown here, but if you need anything else, we have it.
Okay,
We've got everything for you.
okay.
Just please.
So we can do a consensus and then we will confirm at a county commission meeting.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Okay. So you say 20? You say 20?
Yeah.
I'm okay with 20. So 20,000 for the Bi-County Nutrition. You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone here from the Catholic Charities?
That would be me.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, thank you so much for the support you gave us in the past year. And I know how important accountability is, and I can tell you that at the end of this month, when we come back to Greenwood Fire Department, we will have spent all of that money. And I can even tell you which grocery store we spent that money at on which day. So if you need that, I can provide, you have our audit report. We are now serving approximately 20 families per month at the Greenwood Fire Department, the fourth Tuesday morning of each month. And since September, and I know within our report, we went from July, that was written from July 1 up until the end of the first quarter of this year. But I went back to see how much we had spent and how many people we had serviced since we actually received the check. And we have fed over 800 people during that period of time. And that's just basically in one part of the county. And as the gentleman said, many of the people we service also are within that 50s age group. And it does seem to be getting younger all the time. But we're delighted that we're able to come and provide the service to Doddridge County to Greenwood. And it is open to anyone within Doddridge County. We just try to be, we know that people also have problems with transportation and gasoline, so. But if they have a Doddridge County address, we'll be more than happy to help them as long as they fit within the income guidelines, which is 150% or less of the federal poverty line.
Okay.
And we're asking this year $2,000, which is a slight decrease from what you gave to us last year. And that is because we were fortunate to obtain additional funding for Doddridge County through the Doddridge Area Community Foundation.
Good, excellent.
Any questions?
No, I'm going to ask a question, you answer my question.
All right. And I invite you to come out any Tuesday morning and see for yourself what we're doing.
Okay. Any discussion?
No, I'll make a motion.
2,000? Yeah.
That's good.
Okay, I don't have any problem with that either.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Next is the Clarksburg Mission.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good to see you again. The Clarksburg Mission has requested $10,000 this year. We continue to house about 5% of our population comes from the Doddridge County area. We are, and that number, the number of people we housed last year was about 735 unique individuals. About 65 of those were veterans, 50 plus of those were children in our family unit. And several of those families were from Doddridge County. Recently, just kind of anecdotally, recently one of the families from Doddridge County, the mom had received a job at the mission, was managing our dorms, and recently she received a promotion, and she is now our administrative assistant for our Parents as Teachers program, which is our newest program. What we do is we have 4 in-home providers that go out into the community to go into people's homes and teach them how to be their children's first teacher, so that when the kid gets to school, they're not behind. Last year we provided 31,000 nights of lodging, about 100,000 meals to people, over 2,000 food orders, and about 5% of those come from the east, or the eastern end of Doddridge County. As they come over looking for food. Handed out thousands of packs of diapers, some of that to Doddridge County residents, and helped with medication. And any other highlights? So, and we have helped establish a Celebrate Recovery unit in Salem, which is serving a lot of people from Doddridge County, which is a Christ Center 12-step program. So we're trying to get into this area with that message of recovery. The addiction problem is huge in both counties, as you know. And so we're trying to provide some help and hope for families that are dealing with addiction and recovery.
Okay,
Any questions?
so you're requesting 10,000, you say?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions or
I
comments?
mean, 10,000 for each one of them, or 10,000 total?
10,000 total.
Clarksburg Mission, we've got 20,000 here. Lined up. The 10,000 for the operations and 10,000 veterans nutrition program.
I wasn't aware that
That's what mine says.
Yeah.
I don't know how that, I'm not sure that that's accurate. I think we just requested $10,000. I'm not sure why that would have been.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so you're happy with the 10?
So 10,000, yes.
Okay.
And that's what we gave them last year.
Any comments?
No.
So what's your pleasure?
I So yes, we can.
10 to 5.
Okay.
Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Okay, Community Resources Incorporated.
Hi there. My name is Kathy. I'm a Community Resources Specialist that just was hired in February. And since that time, we had a staff change and we were able to service 80 families with free tax service, help with emergency services, food distribution, as well as having families enrolled in the accountable case management program. Currently, since February, we were able to have 3 young women working on GEDs, 2 signed up for first aid CPR to go as to a higher career. They're starting actually this week. 1 young family was able to obtain housing, and they have an income increase of $350 per week. We have to document all that into the system. So, and then we also were able to partner with a lot of different agencies to help a homeless veteran come. They were living in their car for 2 months and had 12 cats. And with the partnering with the local agencies, we found them housing.
I heard about that.
Yeah, they found them housing, and they are living in an apartment. They have 3 cats, and they're still calm to say thank you to all of us, because we have help from the food pantry, we've had help from the Lions Club, we've had help from the Humane Society. So actually, and then starting in June, we, as well as the coordinating council change, opportunity council, starting points, the food pantry, and a couple other partnering that we've done. We are going to be doing a one-stop shop that I put together in a form so that everybody in the community can come 4 hours once a month to start with at the library. So since transportation is an issue in our community, that they can come and get services with a multitude of us from the library. This morning I was able to help a veteran that came across. There was a company that took advantage of him, took $2,500. I came into court with him, and thankfully he was able to get the judgment to get the money back. So pretty much what it's allowing me to do is to be able to get into the community and make more of a difference, and actually try to lean away from just handing money to helping with terminations, but educating and expanding and creating some more independence. So I believe my boss gave you guys more of everything else.
We got financial statements. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay.
That's strictly for Park County?
I
All those
believe,
people?
oh, that I take care of, absolutely, yes, yes. Now, the veteran that I was able to house, we couldn't find a rental property here in this county, so they are currently living in Martinsville, but they were homeless in this area for 2 months.
Okay. Any ideas?
Well, that's last year's.
Yeah.
Okay. 15,000?
I don't know what they asked.
They requested 17. Last year we gave 15, and we're going to match the 15.
Okay, I'll let them know, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Kathy.
Is there anyone here from the Doddridge County Citizens Recognition Committee? We had given 1,000 last year. They're requesting 2,500. What's your thoughts?
You can give them a list of stuff. Because that's last year what they recognized for the month.
Nice man, thank you.
I think he normally comes in, doesn't he?
Yeah.
One's at one of the, and
Lewis is one.
Lewis is one of, and I'd asked you guys whether you needed to be more. You said you didn't have to.
Coach Stansbury is still on. I told him I didn't have a problem.
How do you feel?
We can't hear Beth anymore.
Okay, so everybody, whenever you come up, you'll need to stand in front of the microphone. Sorry.
I hear them, I don't hear you guys.
Well, we can turn the air conditioner off and let the heat rise.
Speak up.
Okay. I've never been accused of not. Okay, next up is the Doddridge County Fair Commission. Now, you could move the microphone right out there if you wanted. I mean, it makes no difference to
That
us.
might be better, I can set their stuff down.
Yeah, that might be.
I'm fine here, the next person can move.
There you go. Been there before.
Right. We're here to make our annual request again as far as that goes. Understand the Doddridge County Fair Commission is a 501c3 nonprofit. We operate with a total budget of about $250,000. We have total expense every year of a good $250,000, all within 1 week. Our economic impact to the county is a little over $4 million in that week. So we affect basically every person that lives in this county. And I think we bring a good quality program to them with all of the things that we do. As a 501c3, we're not allowed to make money, so everything is spent within that time frame. We also gamble every year. Weather's our biggest gamble. Rain can do a fair in really quickly, but as we found out this past year, Saturday with 100-degree temperatures and sunshine, hot weather can do a fair in fairly quickly, because Saturday was a loss to us because not of rain like we normally expect, but the extreme heat and sunshine. So those things have an effect on us. We did struggle this past year. We actually operated in the red quite a ways. Therefore, our request for additional funding this year went from $40,000 to $50,000. And we would appreciate consideration in that amount, and understand hopefully this is a one-year glitch that we can get back everything straight again. So I think the value that we provide to the county, all county residents, it has been noted over 40 years now. So that would be what I would like to say.
Okay. Any comments? I think we made clear that we had given you $10,000, and that would be included in whatever.
Right.
Okay. What's your feeling?
There was, wasn't there, where'd you go?
I'm hiding.
Wasn't there $7,000 or $8,000 in last year, so there was electrical work and some other stuff that was going to continue? I mean, it wasn't going to be a necessity again, right? There were
Right.
some things you upgraded that.
We've been working on upgrading the electric for the last 3 years, basically out there. And that was an expense that we had last year that hopefully should not come back. Are we going to have other expenses with our electric in the future? Probably so.
So you're saying that it's not totally where it needs to be?
No. We bought what we could buy last year. Gets us upgraded quite a ways as far as boxes goes. Those boxes for distribution cost a bunch. I think we need like 3 more connections out there at least, and we're looking at the future for that.
I just remember seeing that on
Right. Yeah. Any other questions?
one comment that I alluded to this in a previous county commission meeting, and I'll just say it here. I think there is a need to diversify your board. I understand that it's difficult to get volunteers, I understand, but when you have the majority of the board of directors is from one particular family, it can lead to people making assumptions about the operation. So that's my advice. Obviously, that's all it is, because we can't tell you who to have on your board. But like I say, it's you just open yourself up. And I hate to say that in this setting, but we're supposed to be.
I will respond to that, and I appreciate your comments, Greg, as far as that goes, because I've been trying to get out of it for a lot of years. Believe me.
I know it's hard to get.
Yeah. The problem is we advertise every year after the fair, please come join us. We want anyone and everyone. It's an open organization. Come and join us, volunteers. We don't get hardly any people new to come in and say, yeah, we'll help out. We have to go out and kind of pretty well drag them in to get them there. Election of officers is held, and it's open for anybody and everyone. And well, when you're a minority sitting there, it's kind of hard to change their mind to point to someone else to take offices. So consequently, that has occurred, and I understand it. And I think the rest of the family will tell you that we would be more than happy to step back totally. Fact is, 2 of us are going to miss this coming fair. So 3 of us actually. We hope that we can bring more people in. We can diversify that. We need the help of people to volunteer. So we're very willing and wanting to accept your recommendation. We would love to move that on and spread that out. So.
Okay. All right. They received $40,000 last year. They're requesting $50,000. What's your feelings? Personally, I look forward to the fair every year. With that being said, I don't think I'm going to be able to attend this year either, because we've got another commitment. But it's not because I don't want to attend, because I always enjoy. A lot of people say I don't know why they would say I like to talk, but you can get a lot of talking done out of the fair. But anyway, I'm going to say that we should match last year, $40,000. Okay, so $40,000, and then we've already given you 10. So. Okay, the Doddridge County Historical Society.
We're from the Historical Society, and as you saw on our financials from last year, we had requested $21,000. We're down to $12,000 this year, only $7,000 for the Blockhouse Hill Cemetery, and for $5,000 for the museum. I don't know if you guys have actually seen what we've been doing over at the museum. With the funds that we had received last year, we've actually gotten our past parking software. It's installed. We are now currently cataloging everything. We have built a partition downstairs. Yes. We've built a partition downstairs. We've gotten a brand new tool collection from, what is his name, Leon Jones? Edwin Jones. That's being displayed. We're now building an enclosure for our schoolhouse room down in the bottom. Since we've opened our doors this year, in the beginning of April, we've had 10 visitors. We've assigned 2 new members to our organization. We're definitely getting out there. We thank you for the microphone reader that you guys done. Microfiche. We are currently looking through all of the negatives from Billy Kiger going through there. So as you can see, we're really moving things forward. We're trying to take the steps to be more independent into ourselves, and that's what we're doing. We've got several fundraisers planned for this year. Last year we did a cookout. I don't know if you guys seen it. We had a cookout here, and that was fantastic. I mean, we had hamburgers and hot dogs and homemade hot dog sauce and homemade slaw. You know, my husband made slaw, and people came. That's when you guys were putting the new enclosure here in front, you know, the steps, and they were coming up. They said we could smell that all the way down on Main Street. And so we're really trying to take the steps to be more independent. We're hoping by next year we won't have to ask for any funding at all, as we will already be up and running, and we're hoping to have more members and more board members and switch out people, and that's what we're really working for.
We're really trying to reach a place that everyone is comfortable with. And by the way, we would welcome your assistance. We are so small. There's no possible way we can have an audit on the outside to break our bank. But as you can see, that's in the handout that she gave you, it lists the many activities since 2011 when we took over, actually. In the back, you see the little dark shaded areas that would indicate that it was a direct contribution to the community. We have been very busy for such a small organization. And the reason one of the reasons we only asked for the 5,000, we have the 1950 flood book coming out. We are on the edge of a contract with Simon & Schultz. We really wanted to keep it with McLean Publishing in Parsons because it's a West Virginia publishing. But Simon & Schultz could give it to us at a much better price, which means we can offer it to the people for a much better price. But we believe that by selling this, it really should be able to carry us this year and next year without asking. God willing, we get situated so we can get it published. But we're aware that the funds are less, like you have said numerous times. And we've only asked for the 5,000 that would be managing that museum. And if you look on the paper, it shows last year, the 5,000 that you gave us for operations of the museum, we almost matched it with 4,000 and some that was outside funds that come in. So indeed, we did have outside funding that helped us. A lot of it was just private money that was, said to do this. This year, we're learning. When contributions are been given to us, like the kiosk for Central Station, we're having put up over there from the Great Train Robbery that we've been giving presentations on. That's all done by private donation. But we have learned, donate the money, earmark it for that, but donate it incorporate it first before we do that. And we are ever learning, and we hope someday that you will be proud of us.
We've been trying to take more and more online webinars since we can't always get, over there. We both have other obligations, but we've been taking webinars through the West Virginia Nonprofit Association online. So we've been taking those, trying to get more educated on how we can get people to join our organization. It's hard, as the gentleman said, it's really hard. I mean, Gilbert over here, our vice president, I have to say, he accosts everybody coming out of your building here. I mean, anybody who's anybody, they've come out, and Gilbert has literally left the museum to come over and talk to them, and has even brought several people in for tours. But, this year alone, we're really trying to take the proactive steps to get out there and get our word out there, because honestly, nobody's really interested in history anymore, so we've got to get them interested in history. I mean, family histories are everything.
Unfortunately, most people don't become interested in history until they're in their late 50s, and that's just a proven fact.
Yes.
And so we're trying to steer our younger people toward that before that time comes. But if you look on there, it also said $9,000. That's because of the $5,000 that Gilbert Neely and I paid back into the county commission over the affair with the law school out there, so that did not cost the county a penny. And Steve Coleman was supposed to do that for us this spring. I have the email where he agreed to and everything, and the funding is still sitting there. And I finally, I talked to Greg Cottrell about this. We had another that was going to do it out of Morgantown. They decided that it was too small a job for them to come down that far. So Mike Coleman, his son, said that the two brothers will come and do it, and we're third on his list. When he has to get his license and insurance and everything turned into his name now. So we will get that taken care of.
But unfortunately, that won't be till closer to October, but it will be done. And in the meantime, we are taking the necessary steps to protect everything within.
So we're doing our best,
Okay.
and we hope you're satisfied.
Okay.
May I quickly say also, we wanted the smooth transition for the Historic Landmark Commission. I did contact the Catholic, property and deeds to try to see if we can get a deed, and they are, as we speak, looking for a deed for that. And I did to make them aware that you guys didn't go seeking the responsibility that it got, put in your lap, but that if they could find a deed for that. And the Odd Fellows is doing the same thing, and so is the Seventh-day Baptist. So I'll be happy to give that to Beth, and I have no issue with that.
Okay. Very good.
I guess that's all. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you. So what's your pleasure? 21,000 last year, 12,000 this year?
Yep.
Get control.
Do you have a question? Okay, so seems to be the consensus for 12,000.
Thank you.
Okay, next is the Doddridge County Humane Society.
Okay, I'm going to excuse myself in just a minute.
You better recuse yourself.
Not too bad.
Okay. For those of you who are not aware, Ronnie's wife is the executive director of the Humane Society, so he has properly recused himself. Last year they asked for 50,000. This year they asked for, I forgot to ask, is there someone here from the Humane Society? Okay.
I don't want to speak, but I am on the board.
Okay.
And we are trying very hard to accomplish many things, and we are putting a lot of effort, okay?
Okay. I know that every time that Rodney comes in, he says that he works very well with the Humane Society, and that they are reducing, seems to be reducing the numbers of unwanted animals. That's what we need to be attempting to do, I think.
I wouldn't like anybody would come up with the facility, if you don't mind me saying that, because, man, you wouldn't believe what a great facility you got up there. I mean,
Yeah, it is. We've, I don't know if you've been up there or not. Have you?
Yeah, I'll take kids.
Okay.
Do the schools still bring the high school kids still go up and take food and stuff? I hope so.
I've not heard this year yet, but, we've got trying to do a lot of things up there, food things, we didn't often eat.
Well, the reason I asked, I knew we hadn't run a trip of kids to the facility this year that I knew of, but I could be mistaken.
I figured they did, because, there involved with some other organizations too, so we help out, we make some furniture up there, just like the bridge right now, not the price of that.
They were having trouble, did they ever fix the road, the culvert?
The culvert couldn't say some work on it, the roads, you say you've been up there?
Well, in the bus, it was getting tough to get a bus.
Yeah, the road slants are terrible, and in the wintertime, you get to slide back toward the guardrails and stuff. Road couldn't stand work on it. A lot of roads in Garden County. Because the oil field, okay, but they do help bring in money. So we're not one of the people bad enough road.
Right.
Okay, but my road is terrible.
Well, I've never walked it for 50 miles.
Okay, and I don't either, so, we'll pencil in 50,000 for the Humane Society.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, it looks like we have a new one. Doddridge County Softball League. That's me.
Hello, I'm John C. I'm president of the Doddridge County Softball League. We just started this year. Right now we have 41 girls between the ages of 7 and 14. So, for us, the first year, it's pretty good sized numbers for when I was really expecting maybe 12 or 15 and getting one team. Hey, we were blessed that we got the extra kids, so it's great. Like I said, you can see, I won't read this verbatim for you. I mean, we are a nonprofit. We are working with Doddridge County's kids. I mean, our goals are to teach them fundamentals, sportsmanship. I mean, one of the big things for us is also, the 7 and 8 year olds not so much, but as these kids are getting older, they get into other things, and at least we have an outlet for them to come and do something productive instead of getting into the negative side of things. You can see our requests. The majority of this stuff is we started the league, and beginning numbers for me, I'm still thinking 20 kids. Then when 41 rolls up, for the league that we're in and some of the other stuff, it's a pay per kid. So our fees went up, kind of expensive pretty quick. And we've talked to some of the other people that have been here. Doddridge County isn't always the wealthiest, so we've got several kids that we've waived registration fees just so they can play. And some of the parents, they've got 2 or 3 kids that are playing, so the league, our league just ate the fees. We went out and got donations to make it this far. We've done some other stuff, some tag days and stuff like that. But this is kind of one of these going forward things, like the sand we did this year already. We know it's going to need it again next year. Greg's been really nice helping us out with tilling the field and getting to some of the other stuff and keeping the grass cut. We've had a lot of parental donations, people on our board. I'm not, it's just me, there's a bunch of us. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, when it's nice outside, everybody's at the field. So you don't get too many these days, so when it's not raining, you kind of make hay, as they say. So they're there, and this is kind of one of these shadows going forward. If you look at the income and the expense sheet that's attached to the back, you can kind of see the majority of those fees are kind of going to stay the same. The insurance stuff's all the same. The donations, right now we got pretty lucky with the amount of donations from the oil and gas companies. Doesn't mean that's going to show up next year. I mean, they were nice and donated this year. We thank them very much, but that could be a one-time donation. So, I'm trying to look at this going forward next year. I don't want to run into, before we ever get started, being empty. So, I mean, that's why we came here for. Hopefully, it would be great to eventually be the part we don't need to come here, honestly. But for the first couple of years till we get started, I think it's going to be anyways, hopefully smaller numbers, but more kids.
Okay.
And what's your season you're running it? How long is your season?
Season runs for our 10U, 12U. We start practicing the beginning of April. Games start towards the end of April, and we go to the beginning of June. So basically, it runs school year calendar, kind of sort of for the out for vacation. Now the 14U runs into a little bit of difference because they are mainly middle school girls. So they'll go from their middle school season, they have 3 or 4 weeks practice, and then they start there. They only have a month season, so they're done by the beginning of July, or thereabouts. Middle of July, I think, is the final tournament for them. They try to hurry it up because, multi-sport kids play multi-different things, and that's just the way it is. So we try to get through it, and this is our first year. We're in Ritchie County, so we try to get it close enough so the parents don't have to travel all around the world to go to these games. They're all close. We do the people that do it do a great job scheduling. All of our games during the week are local games, so the furthest trip we get during the week is Harrisville. And then the weekends are travel, like we do have Short Line, we have Team in Pine Grove, but that's Saturday stuff.
Any other?
And I am an accountant, so I can do whatever you need.
All right. I'm sure Randy will be glad to hear that.
It's all the kids from Dodgers County?
Yes.
They are? Okay.
Yes, all 41 are from here.
Okay.
I mean, we have it open, so Salem can come if something would happen that they would want to, but this year we did not get any. But like I said, being a new league, their season starts before ours, so they had some kids sign up. Now, I know that, I'm sure next year, the people that play baseball, the girls that play baseball, want to play softball, they may move, but right now it's all Dodgers kids.
Any other questions or discussion? What do you think? Okay, 2,449?
Great, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Next is the Doddridge County Solid Waste Authority.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Our funding request is for the litter control officer and his crew and our countywide cleanup day, which is coming up this Saturday, the 13th, for this year.
Okay, looks like your request is the same as last year.
Yes. We did have a financial audit for 2016.
Okay. I'm sure we either have that or we can get it. Okay.
I see them out all the time.
Well, what I have said, I talked briefly to Jamie with the Day Report Center. What I indicated was I would like to see coordination between his group and your group. And I think you do 3 days a week now. Is that?
It goes out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So far this year, right now, we have one Day Report Center client, 1 day a week.
What I requested of him was to put together a proposal to make that a 5 day a week operation, and bring it to the county commission, because Ronnie mentioned at one time in the county commission meeting, we've all noticed that there's
Trash everywhere.
Yeah. So my request would be coordinate it with Jamie and see if you all can come up with some plan and bring it to the county commission. And I, for one, would be more than willing to look at additional funding to get somebody out there at least 5 days a week. We just kind of have to take the bull by the horns.
We did hire one part-time employee to go out, and work. But I mean, that's one, we have one from there, 2 people out working.
Right.
They don't get very far, and they only have 2 people.
I understand.
You know what weird is, it's a shame that we have to pay somebody to take out trash that we can put out there. It's a shame that we live in society this way nowadays.
Last year, they picked up 34,900 pounds, 493 tires of the
It's a shame.
It is.
Well, and you're one more of another supervisor for 5 days and then
Well,
the Day Report Center.
Whatever would be necessary. I'm not saying we need a whole another crew. I'm just saying maybe they can come up with some way, and I'm more than willing to consider the funding for it, and I think we all are, because we all recognize the problems. But
They do a very good job. If you look at some of the counties that border Doddridge and garbage that is along their roadsides and compare it to Doddridge, they do a very good job.
but they just can't get around to every road as frequently as it needs to be. You know, we all recognize that.
Yeah, but what was it with that? They can't be on a 4-lane?
I guess that is the highway, Department of Highways territory.
Sometimes it's horrible.
It is.
And the
But I did-
the Department of Highway, well, you probably can't answer this, they don't, or because there's, I don't know what it would be either, but I know that.
Jamie told us that too, didn't he? Jamie told us that.
I'm not sure, but I do know that I was coming up 79 from Lewis County, and I saw a vehicle from it said the regional jail, and I think it probably had to be the central regional jail, because that's who serves Lewis County, and I think it was probably close to the county line. But they were on Route 79, so why couldn't we get somebody from the Department of Highways on Route 50? We just need to get it cleaned up. But anyway, that's something that you all can work on. So we've got were you finished?
Yes.
Okay. Last year, we had given them 20,000. They're requesting 20,000. What's your feelings?
It was fine.
Okay, 20,000. Okay. Next up is the Doddridge County Chamber of Commerce, another new request.
Good evening. I'm Don White. I'm the chairman of the startup committee. As you know, we're a new organization. We really think that there's a need for a chamber in the county here. We've been meeting for about 6 months now, trying to get all our ducks in a row and get everything squared away. We're at the point now where we're looking to recruit new members, and most of what you see on the budget, on the request here is for infrastructure, so we can reach out to new members. It's definitely our intention to become a self-sufficient organization. We don't want to be up here asking for money. We want to be able to grow with our membership and do good things for the county.
Okay. Any questions?
You're basically business owners.
Business owners at this point, county and city as well. We've been approached by some nonprofits as well as some oil and gas companies looking to get together with us to do some projects. So we've got a calendar that we're working on right now. We're ready to get some things going.
So this is basically startup money for you.
Right. Exactly.
Any other questions?
I looked at their.
Yeah, I do too. So what's your feeling? I think we need to support this. I don't know that we, like you said, I don't know that we would want to support it at this level every year. But we need to see business grow here in the county and in the town. If we can fill some of the stores or renovate some of the buildings or something, to bring more businesses in, you're gonna see good things happening.
I mean, can we get, have you come in every couple of months or something? And let us know what's going on?
Oh, absolutely.
Since this is,
Yeah, we want to be as transparent as possible here. I meant to mention too, we were just talking about the trash situation, and one of the programs that we've been discussing briefly is other areas have sponsorships where businesses sponsor cleanups of highways and roadsides. That's something that we'd like to be able to try to work together with all three organizations and try to get where we can get some of our larger companies to either donate manpower or financial resources to help pay for that cleanup. I mean, a lot of our larger companies that are potential members, they're some of the ones that are contributing to the trash to the situation. So I think that we can reach out to them and try to get that situation resolved too.
a lot of those old, oil gas trucks that move stuff off of there.
Well, and along that line, and this really doesn't have anything to do with your request per se, but I honestly believe that there's companies out there who might be inclined to join and contribute and be productive members of the community if they felt that there was a positive, that there were positive factors rather than negative factors. And as we discussed there a little bit ago about the Humane Society, that you've got several individuals and organizations that are working together, and working together you can accomplish things. And so if we can begin to start showing a positive face to the community rather than a negative face, we're going to see things start to happen. And all you have to do is just look down on Main Street and see how it has improved, and if we can get some of the buildings, something done with them. It's a slow process, but you have to take the steps, and you just have to be positive. Go ahead.
Okay. Have you been working with DDA?
I've not.
Okay. I think you need to get hold of Kirby.
There's been a communication, but
Okay.
it's not like we're totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe that's what Greg said, if we all work together, it makes it better for all of us.
Okay, any other?
No.
No. I would recommend the full amount, $5,216.86.
Well, it would be worth it, $5,000, if it did bring one business into town of West Union. Think about it, one more business in town of West Union, $5,000 ain't nothing. So I'll go along with it.
Okay? All right, so $5,216.86. Is anybody here from the FRN? Well, this is, last year they received, it says 15,000. This year, they're requesting $980. I wonder if the 980 and 1020 was what they intended.
That's kind of low.
980 sounds like a kind of an odd request. What do you think? Okay. It's for the same thing both years. Yeah. But it's 2 different years. Okay. So 980 is their request. What do you think? 980 then. Next up is the Douglas County EDA.
Not a lot to add, other than what you got before you, and it's pretty much the same as last year. I didn't think to include the audit with but I have a copy of that if you don't need it. Ben Keller took over one too. And we have reduced our request by $4,000 this year because actually we got more last year from the state than what we anticipated. There's been budget cuts in the budget last year and this year, but the development office has been able to make funds, so that's the reduction.
Okay.
What we normally do.
Right. Okay. Were you?
Unless you have questions about this.
You have any
No, just,
recommendations?
give them 34,666.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
34,666. Next up is food pantry.
All right. Thank you for this offer that we have, an opportunity to come to you. And I tell you, the last 3 years that you've been assisting us, we were down to $30-some when we started assisting us. We still on profit. We still spend it all, but you see as they turned in. We assist 60 to 65 families a month. And all the same every month. And throughout the year, we assist over 200 families, which really kind of gets into almost 1,000 people a year, because some large families. But we do that monthly, and we also we're open every Tuesday now. That stuff will get changed. And we're open every Tuesday, all volunteers, and we have access to it. People have access to our food pantry through Community Resources, which is housed in the same building now. So they help us out there for emergency purposes. And we help about 150 families, 150 to 175 families at Christmas time. We give a special Christmas basket and enough food to carry the students, because kids are going to be home during that week. And we're hoping. And that's it.
Okay. Any questions?
All the families are in Doddridge.
All families in Doddridge.
I had no problem having other counties too. I mean, that just, makes it nicer there.
We have a kind of, when it gets down to Salem area, Long Run area, it's kind of iffy where's the cutoff line, or down Greenwood, that Long Run area, where's the cutoff line. But people, we have to depend upon their mailing address. We don't have their mailing address, we have a physical address from, they bring in proof to a utility company.
Okay.
So, we hope we got the cutoffs correct. Occasionally there might be a family too.
Well, if they were a needy family.
Yes.
I'm not.
I'm on here,
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, any other questions or comments for Bill? What's your pleasure? Okay. All right, 10,000.
Thank you.
Next would be the Greenwood Volunteer Fire Department, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to save the fire departments for last and go ahead and dispense with the other organizations. So next is Health Access.
Good evening. Good evening. Good to be back. My name is Jim Harris, and I'm the Director of Health Access in Clarksburg. We are the free and charitable clinic serving low-income, uninsured, and underinsured adults from Harrison and Doddridge County. So we've served two counties since our inception in 1992. We are a 501c3 tax-exempt organization. Our budget's about $500,000 a year to run the clinic in Clarksburg. We have about 350 patients from Doddridge County zip codes that come to our clinic. We're open 5 days a week, 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. We have a core staff of 6 paid employees. That's both staff, medical and administrative. And then we have about 75 different specialists who volunteer and see patients either in their facility or some come to our clinic. We have on-site clinics for dermatology, and we have a ear, nose, and throat specialist who comes 1 day a week. We have a psychologist who's there 1 day a week. We provide care to many of the facilities in the Clarksburg area. For instance, the Clarksburg Mission. Most of those residents come to us for their care. There's a place in Clarksburg called Dismiss Charities that is a halfway house for federal offenders. When they get out of federal prison, they have no health care. So they live there. There are 44 people who live there, and they come to our clinic for their care. We are funded by several different sources. Your funding last year and the several years before that, and now it comes into the pot of local government funding. So we get $50,000 from the Harrison County Commission. We have received $10,000 from Doddridge County Commission. We get $3,500 from the city of Clarksburg. So that's all in that category. We're funded by United Way of Harrison County, $75,000. The United Hospital Center Foundation gives us $20,000. The state of West Virginia, through the DHHR, has a Division of Primary Care grant called Uncompensated Care. And they provide, this year it's $220,000. Last year it was $139,000. The cut is 46% last year. It was a tough year last year. We don't know what's going to happen this year because the state hasn't set its budget yet, as you know. So we're really kind of on pins and needles about what the state's going to do. But we are trying to diversify our resources to keep us going by building local resources. I write grants all the time. Foundation monies are few and far between. The competition's pretty great. I can tell you that statewide there are 9 free clinics, and this one is one in that number. We have a statewide association. The figure that we use to calculate service is every $1 in equals $33 of care. And that's because most of what we get is donated to us. So most of our pharmaceuticals come from Bottom Pharmaceuticals in Morgantown. They send us a case of XYZ medication, and they even pay the shipping. They send it to us free of charge. So our patients get their medicines. If they don't have Medicare or Medicaid, they come to us, they get their medicines free at our facility. We have a full-service pharmacy on site. We did about 19,000 prescriptions last year out of that pharmacy to about 15,000 patients. 350 of those are, of course, from Doddridge County. We don't prescribe any narcotics. We never have. We're not licensed for that. So there are no controlled substances on our facility. I brought a copy of our budget, or I'm sorry, our audit, which I'll give to your clerk. I think I sent it with our application, but I wanted you to have another copy here. And then I brought a folder for each of you just because it has my business card in there, and there's also an application and one of our brochures that explains our services a little more fully. And I know that, I wanted to say real quickly, I'm delighted that this county is so blessed, and you're willing to share that blessing along the lines of helping in so many different ways. I get an education every time I come down here about the kinds of opportunities that you're able to help support. It's just a great thing. And I know that everybody comes asking, so I want you to know that when budget times get tough, I brought you a Band-Aid for when you get beat up, because I know that's gonna happen. I'll just pass these along. And then, you know, I never come empty-handed, because I think it's important. I brought along some, for those days when you really have a tough time, I brought along some Nexium. You can pass those along for the upset stomachs that I know you're gonna have. I also brought along, this is terrible. I'm like Gallagher, the comedian. I brought along some Advil for your headaches, because I know you have those. Here's some Advil, just because there's 2 in there, you take both. And finally, some Miralax for the days when things just really aren't going well at all. And then because you have to shuffle so much paper, a little Vaseline to keep your hands from bleeding, you can have that as well. And then, finally, I brought you a pen. You can pass those along, Madam Clerk, and those pens are just so you can write a check. We are requesting an additional $10,000 again this year. It really is a partnership for us with the Doddridge County Commission. We feel like you know, you're a part of us. We are your free clinic. We're the safety net. If we're not there, where do people turn? And I'll tell you that federally, we don't know what Congress is going to do with the Obamacare thing, the replace and repeal. How is that going to impact us at the street level in Doddridge County and Harrison County? I don't know the answer to that. I don't think they know the answer to that. But the truth is that we are there to take care of people who don't have any other outlets. They have nowhere else to go. And we spend a lot of time navigating people through a really tough healthcare system that's kind of broken. United Hospital Center is our biggest partner. So all of our patients, we send them to UHC for their blood work and x-rays and CAT scans and surgeries. And if they're a charity case with our clinic, they write those off. Millions of dollars get written off every year. We started in 2014 taking Medicaid, and we received Medicaid patients mostly because those people couldn't find a doctor who would take Medicaid. So we're doing that as well. We get about $12,000 to $15,000 a year out of Medicaid, which is not great. And they pay very low and pay very slow. But we felt like as a safety net, we need to meet those people right where they are. And we are, again, we go to 250% of federal poverty, so people can make, you know, $24,000, $25,000 a year as a single person and still be qualified in our clinic. So that's my time. I'll answer any questions. I did want to share with you 2 new things. You know, Medicaid does not cover vision or teeth. So if you have a medical card, you can't get teeth pulled and you can't get your eyes examined or get glasses. So we're expanding services. This July, we're going to start with a mobile dentistry unit coming out of Charleston. It's going to come to our clinic twice a month. So we'll be seeing some Doddridge County residents and getting their teeth fixed at our clinic on the mobile unit. And WVU Eye Institute comes about 3 times a year. They're coming again on May the 18th, which is just right around the corner. People can come to this eye screening. The screening's free. And if they need glasses, if they get a prescription by the doctor there, they will fill that prescription on site, make them prescription glasses specifically for that person for a $20 to a $40 copay. So I wanted to share that with you all down here too, because we want some of your folks to come that need glasses, that are using old readers from Walmart, that they can't afford to get prescription glasses. They can get them that day for $20 to $40, so it's a really good deal. And we're going to keep doing this 3 or 4 times a year. So I brought that for you too. And with that, I'll answer any questions that you have.
So any person from Doddridge County can come in and apply?
Absolutely, absolutely. And our application is in your folder. It's a 1-page, very simple application. When I came there in 2008, it was a 13-page front and back application. I said, folks, we've got to fix this. I can't even understand it. So we went to a 1-page, pretty simplified app. We just gather some financial data. We make sure that they live in the district, either Harrison or Doddridge, and that their income is within that guideline of their income. Questions? Thank you all so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. We gave him 10 last year, the request of 10. What's your thought? All right. Hope Incorporated.
I'm Harriet Sutton, I'm Incorporated, and I knew I was going to have to fall them down. And I
wasn't ever too happy about that because I don't have any goodies or anything, but I'll remember that for next year.
Can you step to the microphone, please?
Oh, I'm sorry. Pope Incorporated began in 1980 and expanded into 5 different counties. We want to thank you very much for the amount that you gave us last year that has helped us to renovate the Reserve Center into a brand new shelter. The other thing that I want to mention, which I'm excited about, and I'll have Jen tell you more about it, is in February, our VOCA grant was increased so that we were able to bring Jen into the county full-time.
They know.
Oh, they know?
I told them last month at the
Oh,
meeting.
shoot, okay. Anyway, we are. We're very excited about that because we're hoping, that will give us 5 days a week. We are asking for another $10,000 this year to hopefully complete the renovations for our facility by the end of the summer. You go ahead. Maybe they already know. Go ahead. They're probably tired, so.
These three know. I am here now 5 days a week. I work with the prosecuting attorney and the cops with the SART team. We have a functioning SART team, which is sexual assault response team. We recently hired a new counselor. I don't know if that's, but Outreach County now has counseling, so if any of our clients need counseling, they no longer have to go to Harrison County. We can come to them 1 day a week. So that's something they have full-time now. Marion County and us as Outreach, which is Lewis, Doddridge, Gilmer, and Harrison, share a counselor. And 1 day a week, they will come to Doddridge County and our clients can get counseling. And just like every other of the outreach counties, if we have someone that needs to go to the shelter, our shelter is located in Marion County. All 5 counties are under one roof as far as our shelter, because we only have one shelter. So I am here 5 days a week now. We do legal advocacy as far as magistrate court, family court, counseling, shelter, stuff like that. You guys know, you've heard it, but for everybody else, that's what we do. So.
And our shelter is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on Christmas. And we serve meals too. So.
And I've been very grateful that Doddridge County has accepted, I'm an outsider. I'm not from Doddridge County, so but everybody here is doing wonderful. I work with the FRA and the Lions Club. I mean, CEOs, groups, they're wonderful. So the support from the community and you guys has been grateful. So that's it.
Any questions?
We talk about this, but we don't know what happens behind closed doors. You know what I mean?
Well,
we don't know what goes on.
You're not supposed to know what goes on.
I know, but it happens. We don't know nothing about it. Goes on all the time, especially after the Super Bowl.
Right. Exactly. I mean, as far as what does go behind closed doors, that's a VAWA, that's confidentiality, and that's something that eventually I'd like to see us in a different place, because I've had 2 clients this week. The sheriff's office has been watching, and it was for our clients, but they know everybody that comes up there, So as far as confidentiality, sometimes I think it does deter people from coming because the building is watched right there from either this office or the sheriff's office. But just this week, I've had 2 cops come up and they were giving our clients messages, which it was in their favor, but what if it wasn't, So you're right, what happens, it should be behind closed doors, and we try our best, but, we are a nonprofit, so we take what we're given, and we're grateful for it, but hopefully, someday along the line, we'll be able to.
And we'd like to invite you to our new facility. I think that you'd be as excited as I am to see it and to get it finished, because it will be a much better place for a victim. Also closer to Doddridge County, because it's out close to the interstate. And yeah,
thank you.
Any other questions or comments? What do you think?
Give them 10.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
Cleveland would be next, but we're going to save the volunteer fire department. So it's Mountain Air Creative Arts Council. Do we have anyone here? Yeah. All right, the representative's wife's car wouldn't run properly, so I don't know if there's anything here that'd help him or not, but anyway. Last year, we gave them 5,000, they're requesting 5,500 this year. What, you have any comments?
I'm not a commissioner, but this is one of the finest programs, I think, because it includes all ages of children in school, and it gives them a chance to gain some confidence in themselves. I've said this many times, I've been to several wonderful plays, and I recognize certain kids from the year before or the year before that, and to see the confidence that they've gained being up on stage in front of people in themselves, it's amazing. And I just think it's a wonderful, wonderful program for kids. And I love it. I look forward to it every year.
I would like to be able to attend, but it generally falls at a time when I can't be there. But I did go one time, I recall, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
This year they did Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Family, or the Chocolate Factory Jr. And I don't even like the movie Willy Wonka, but I went to watch the kids here do it, and they did such a good job. I really enjoyed it.
Good.
Well, they put, this group was one for all the elementary and middle schools too. We bus them.
Yeah.
So a lot of kids get to see them, and they do. It's a good program. It's well run.
Okay, what's your,
I have no problem.
no problem with the 5,500? Okay. Okay, Opportunity Council. Last year 10,000, this year requested 12.
Good evening.
Good evening.
And we truly appreciate everything you have done for us over the course of, I don't know even how many years. I'm usually the sidekick up here, so I'll try to remember everything we've been doing this year. Opportunity Council is a 501c3 and has been operating in Doddridge County for 18 years. I've been with Opportunity Council for 16 years. So this year we are still doing our adult basic education and GED preparation for at-risk children, at-risk kids, and low-income families. We also do early childhood education. We partner with the Starting Point Center to provide, they provide parents as teachers to all of our families, so they're getting that in-home education. We also are partnering with the Doddridge County Schools with our adult basic education program, and this year it looks like we will probably be sharing our ABE teacher with them once again. We've had that partnership before over the years, and we will once again be doing that. They'll share the cost of our county ABE program with us. New to this year as well is we got a sub-grant from the Department of Health and Human Services for drug prevention. So we have formed the Doddridge County Prevention Partnership, and we have 14 members from the Sheriff's Department to health organizations to service organizations. We have one of the counselors from the high school. One of the trainings that we offer is in the preschool and kindergarten. It's called HALO, Healthy Alternatives for Little Ones. And it's a self-esteem program geared at that young age, building their self-esteem so that as they go through the school system, they have motivation, they're happy, and they are more apt to stay. We also do take dropouts from our school system, and we partner with HRBF, which I can't remember what that stands for, but with the youth Youth Ready program, Youth Works program. Anyway, it provides $3 an hour for dropout students to attend our classes, and they also do on-the-job training. And so those kids get a nice check for staying in class, and that's a nice incentive. And it used to be up to the age of 21, now it's up to the age of 26. So we're very happy to be able to do that. This year we've been funded by PDC, Antero, EQT, Parkersburg Area Community Foundation, the Doddridge Area Community Foundation, Ross Family Foundation. And an interesting aside, I happened to read the paper this morning, and there was a quote that you wanted to be the last to be asked for funding. Interestingly enough, one of the gas companies, when I called to talk to them about our prevention program, the first question he asked me was, have you approached the county commission yet? And I said to him, yes, we have. So there you have it. Can I answer anything for you?
How many people do you have in Donna? How many people come through your program a year? I mean, just a ballpark there.
As far as the ABE program?
Yeah.
Right now we have 7 enrolled, but over the course of the year, we could see 20, 30, and they fall, they move. It's a very fluid population, so it's tough. Right now we have 7 full-time students for us. We're open 3 days a week, 18 hours. So right now, that's what we're seeing. And it goes up and down over the year. It usually comes up at summertime, then as school comes up, it'll level off, and then school starts, comes back up. Winter, it goes back down. It's the population that we work with.
So how many GEDs did you get this year?
This year so far, I think only 1 this year so far. We have several that are on the brink, but it's a difficult. A lot of the students that we see come in at very low levels. They come in at an ABE level where their levels may be at 6th, 7th grade or lower. We've had them at 2nd and 3rd grade level, and so then they work at ABE to get up to. They have to get to 8.0. 8th grade level, to be able to start even studying for their GED. So sometimes that's quite a long process. So once they get up, we test them after 70 hours of class time using the TABE test, and it's a standardized test that gives you each of their levels in 5 subjects. And when they get to the level of 8 in each one, then they progress on to studying to take their GED. And when they get up to 9.9, then they're given a test, a pre-test, and if they pass that, then they can register to take their GED. So sometimes it's a long time, and it's an investment of them. And it's their investment that's made us successful.
When was this organization formed?
In 1999.
Was that as a result of the regional jail? About that same time?
I think originally it was, and they used to do preparation for the tests that you had to take. And we actually were a test site. When I first started, I did the Saturday morning tests for them. And originally they had a grant for cleaning up the riverbanks. Through the years, we've evolved. We've evolved to the changing needs of the county. When we find a direction that needs help, like right now with our prevention partnership. That's something we've just started in the last 2 years. So as the need arrives in the county, we try to hopefully address it.
Any other questions? Questions or comments? Last year they received 10, this year they're requesting 12. What's your thoughts?
We always aim high and are appreciative of every dollar.
Well, for the most part, we've been holding with last year, so it's 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay. School Day Plus.
Good evening.
Hi, I'm Jill Myers from School Day Plus. I've been the director since 1999. We were established in 1998. We're a nonprofit after-school summer program. We're still the only daycare program in our county that's open 5 days a week for the working parent. We have other similar programs, but they don't stay open late enough, and the parents have no choice but Clarksburg, and that's kind of unreasonable for our county. We're asking for an increase this year because I have a new staff that I'm excited about. She is now going to school so that one day I can retire. And she's taking ACDS classes, and she's done with her first quarter, and that's why she's not here tonight, because she has to be in school tonight. So I'm really excited about that. Last year when we came to you, we had nothing. This year we have money in the bank. She has done a wonderful job for me in the last 6 months, and she has a lot of new plans. We also hired 2 other staff members. Amanda's already started. Heather Richards is my coordinator right now, and she's done a wonderful job. And then I have Amanda Small, who's working with her, and then I'm going to have Dodie Davis help in the summer. We still do help the high school children to come in and get their volunteer hours. So we try to work with anybody in the community that needs hours. We also try to help anybody in the main building. We're located below the board office. We've been there since the school shut down and consolidated. We actually went in there to keep us in the old fire marshal laws. So we come in handy once in a while. We are asking for more last year because we have not painted or did any updates to our program since 2002 when I painted it with my friends because we were so focused on just keeping the program running because we haven't came year after year after year. The last couple we have. Usually I was selling hot dogs and doing as many fundraisers as we can, but with minimum wage going up, prices going up on food, we're really getting to hear the crunch like everybody else is. We will also like to get new carpeting, which is beyond needed. That's the original carpet in the West Union grade school. Probably when you went to school, many of the people in this county can say, oh, that was what was in our kindergarten room. So it really does need replaced. It's unraveling. We're hoping to contact a local business and see if he can help us on a price break, but we'll have to see. But if you can give us whatever you can, we are grateful for the kids in the county. I still, as a director, do my part of donation by still not taking pay. I believe in the program still. Thank you.
I don't take pay either.
Yeah, my keeper doesn't take pay either. Yeah. Oh, do you have any other questions?
That's free.
No, we charge $2 an hour. It's an affordable daycare for working parents. Yeah, it's not. And in the summer, we charge $18, and we are on the food program so that the children that come to us can have breakfast, lunch, and then we provide snacks for $18 a day, and we open 6 in the morning, 6 at night. But with working parents working minimum wage, that's still a lot of money for them every week, especially if they have more than one child. You know, when you get to Clarksburg, it's like they can't work, and that's the whole idea. If we can keep the parents in our county working, they're paying in the taxes. If not, then they have to be in the system, and we're paying them. So that's our point of hoping to continue.
Any other questions or comments? What's your feeling?
Well, she said there ain't no daycare in Douglas County. And when she said you can't drive to Clarksburg and it's a kid in daycare up there, maybe you make it
Well,
money.
we talk a lot. How many come right off, how many get off the bus there every night?
Oh, right now, we're having a lot because we also help the Tri-County Dance Team in our county. If it wasn't for us, she wouldn't have the girls be able to get there. So anywhere from 20 to 25 children get off in the evening off. And we're really blessed with the Board of Education because they do give us our space. They do pay the electric for the building, and then they give us free bus service. So we're very thankful to the drivers and stuff. We're very nice to you guys.
So it's well used. I mean, I knew that. That's why I was just curious on the number.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Heather's doing a wonderful job of really upping the enrollment again. It's getting to be like old days when I did it, which now those kids are now working for me, who used to come there. So that's kind of neat.
Okay. So what do you think? We gave him 5 last year, that she's asking for 8.
Give them 7 this year.
7? All right.
Thank you, will do. Painting and carpeting, thank you.
Okay. With the exception of the volunteer fire departments, it looks like the town of West Union is up.
Good evening.
Good evening.
It's also friendly with me this time.
Who's the announcer? Mark or
Mark. I believe we know all council members. I think everyone's met. And you know, we're asking for a little bit more than we did last year. We're asking for 131, 340. This will pave several streets that are in desperate need. I don't know if you've seen the recent news story on the West Union streets, but they're desperately need repair. The first one, and probably most expensive, is Railroad Street. We're wanting to pick up where the county left off, here by the courthouse on the hill, and take that all the way down to 18 and do some work to the hill there and make that a good exit for town. You know, that we don't have to drive down through town, so it doesn't make that very nice and a good exit. We're looking at Neely Avenue, right there by the shopping center before you get to the main street there, just a little section there. So it's not real bad, Holy, but it's pretty rough, and that's a well-traveled footbridge. Yeah, bad. Yeah, we want to
drain right there.
Absolutely.
A drain's bad.
That is bad. Boy, that's why they have to.
They go back and forth to stay in ownership, but if we get this paving, we're gonna fix it and get in a lot better shape. Front Street and Edmond, on both sides of the Spurs New Home, you know, those 2 streets are in desperate need of repair. And up here on the hill, Orchard Street is just, looks like a creek at times, you know, just needs repair. Well, we made a milestone just tonight on the Wabash project. We're procuring our easement and right-of-way agent, and they're going to start here shortly getting the right-of-ways, easements for the sewer project, and we'll get to the magnet number. I think it's 80%, or maybe 90%. I'm really stuck at 80%. Then we can put off a bid. So our engineer says, with everything timeline, he says Wabash project will start construction in November, but we're going to mind wait as long as we might as well wait to better weather and try to start April, May, instead of being there in the winter, just make it bigger. That's going to frustrate people even more. You know? I think they'd be worth waiting. And along with that, the great thing about the Wabash project, I know everyone gets tired of hearing Wabash, when it's going to happen, but the majority of all those streets are going to be totally, the bed plus the pavement is going to be totally replaced and repaired. You know? All of them up in there, you know, Cass and Lee's and, you know, Walnut, they're all in very bad shape, but they'll be totally with the Wabash right. because the only place to take a new main sewer line is a lot of times down the road, you know, so. And with the asphalt base over there, some of those are only 2 inches, so by the time they go in there and try to trench and cut it, they're just tearing the road out, so. But, so hopefully, next year that'll be doing that, but this year we're wanting to continue with what we were able to do last year, you know, and make more progress, because that is probably the number one complaint or concern that we receive is at the city is the city streets. You know, we've been, I think, real successful with what we've accomplished. You know, we've been faithful with the county's money and been able to do what we said we're going to do. And with this, I'm still waiting for a couple more bids. You know, after 2 or 3 years of people not getting the job, they don't want to come back and bid. You know, but we're trying to get that all taken care of. So that number could go down a little bit. If it did, I would definitely let you know before the check is wrote. You know, if we get a better bid and we save money, you know, I definitely let you all know on that. So if you have any questions for me,
I guess I'll be the one to, first off, you'd called me a couple of times at home, and I wasn't ignoring you.
I didn't realize it was tax season.
It was tax season.
My wife said, you know, it's right now, it's tax. I said, I didn't think.
So I wasn't ignoring you, but anyway. Like I say, I think I probably will address the elephant in the room. B&O tax.
That is dead. We're not going to take any action with this current council. You know, it would, next council will be up to them. I can't tell you what they'll do. But this council, we feel like there's no sense in trying to push something through before the end of the term. You know, something like that needs a lot of conversations, a lot of meetings with people. You know, I've met with several people on both sides of it. But before we do that, we need several meetings. And I think with the new chamber, I think we need to sit down, because there's other ways to raise revenue too. You know, the B&O is an idea, you know, because honestly, I don't think our plan should be come here and ask for money every year for the streets. We need to come up with a way to create revenue but we don't want to hurt the business that we have. And we're with you. We would love to have another business or two on Main Street, you know, and we're looking at things to help that, you know, with different ordinances and stuff, you know. But yeah, the B&O tax, I don't see nothing happen this term, and I don't plan to ask for it now. If one of the other new council want to pursue it, but you know, there's other ways. Even just conversation, the sales tax or user fee, or even try to pass a road levy. I mean, there's things that we need to sit down and weigh the pros and cons on.
Well, let me say,